Okay, in this demonstration, we're going to look at some custom clone functionality that I've set up on an order object. So I'm going to run through the demonstration really quickly. It's really short, and then I'll get into some of the backstory as to why I had to do this, why I built it this way. So I'm on an order record right now. Looks like we have 9 different lines. And we have 1, 2, 3 different lines are tagged as service product. That's important because these are going to be the products that are eligible to be cloned off of this order, or from this order, I should say. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to click my clone order button. That's going to pop open a data table from a Lightning Web Component. And you can see, so like I mentioned earlier, we were going to have 3 lines that were eligible, so we have those 3 lines here. And if I scroll over here, we're pulling in total price as well. So, and again, this is all just from that original order we were just looking at. So you can see of the 9 products, we have our 3 service products, and you can see I am pulling in, there was 2 of the cloud storage product on that parent order. So I'm just cloning them, and not combining lines at all. An option for this could be, totally up to how the business wants to operate, but we could always combine these cloud storage lines since it's the same product. We could combine them into one line and up their quantity of 40 automatically, right? So that's just another option. I didn't do it for this demonstration, but totally feasible. So let's go ahead and get our cloned order created. So what I'll do is I'm actually going to jump up this line to 40, right? I'll just do kind of that combo. I'll just combine those 2 lines myself, right? So we got 40 here, and I'll go with, for the productivity suite, let's bump this up to 10. So 40 and 10. What lines do I want to pull onto my cloned order? Well, we'll select them here, right? So now we just have our 2 lines. I'm going to leave this 3rd cloud storage off, and we'll create our order. So we have our success message, and that's pretty much it. So if I go to the details now of this order record, it's just a straight clone of that original order, right down to the quote. I'm pulling everything over. Billing address, shipping address, so it's going to be an exact replica of that original order. And now if I go back to related, we can pop open our lines here, and same thing, right? So we have our 2 service products that we selected. We have our cloud storage with a quantity of 40. And we up the quantity of the productivity suite from 6 to 10. So let me go back now to, here we go. So back on the original order. So why did I have to do it this way? It was just a combination of the way that the permissions were set up in the org, as well as business policy. So basically, orders, once they were created, end users couldn't add lines. They couldn't manually add lines. It was just a permission that wasn't feasible in this org. So requirements were essentially, hey, we need our end users to clone orders. Keep in mind, not all products are going to be eligible to be cloned. So that was another challenge where some of the standard out-of-box functionality provided by Salesforce, whether it was, I think there's 2 different clone buttons that Salesforce provides on order. One is clone with products. The other is clone without products. Those, because of the requirements I just mentioned, not feasible. The second option I had looked at was a screen flow. Because they're doing so much with flows nowadays, and they've actually given us that Lightning data table component where we can embed it directly into our screen in the flow, standard functionality. But the challenge with that was the data table in the flow, there's no inline editing. So that was a hurdle for that option. So after exercising and looking around and really running the gamut, if you will, with all of the administrative declarative options, it just came to a point where this had to be done with a Lightning Web Component, as well as a controller, right? We have some Apex in there kind of handling the inputs and what the end user is doing. But it was just something that again, after exercising the declarative options, a Lightning Web Component kind of had to be called in, and we had to use that to give our end users, in this case, the ability to clone order records. So this process itself isn't specific, obviously, to orders and order lines. It can be used on really any object, you name it. This process could be used on. So just something that helps the users, gives them the power, but at the same time, limits a little bit, right? Because we are doing some of the filtering for them on the products and whatnot. So yeah, that's it. Thanks.